Good morning, everyone. This is Leah Dixon in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I'm here for my regular Tuesday morning Facebook Live at 9 o'clock-ish. I always aim for 9, but tech difficulties often get in my way. So if you're popping on this morning, just leave a little comment in the comments section so that I can see who's here. I get the little icon showing me that people are watching, but I don't get names and stuff to show me who's joined me this morning. So today I'm going to be showing you one of the products in our new January to June mini catalog. It's the Love You Always treat boxes, and I wanted to show them to you because I just got some this weekend as part of a mini convention I was taking part in, and they look very simple to put together, and they are. But they're not very intuitive. Like they do need a little bit of explaining. So I thought this morning would be a great chance for me to show you how to put these no adhesive boxes together. Good morning, Catherine. And then we're going to decorate our box with the Snail Mail DSP. I'm going to use some blending brushes and show you how to use those, as well as bringing in the free Celebration Darling Donkeys stamp set. So if you don't know about Celebration yet, good morning, Janice. Celebration is an annual event that Stampin' Up! Puts on. This year it's running from the beginning of January 5th, I think it was, all the way until the end of February. So February 28th is your last day to get in on Celebration rewards. And basically what it is for every $60 you spend out of our annual catalog or our January to June mini catalog, you earn a free Celebration item. And they have this cute little catalog. You can view it online. I'll post the link to that in the comments after the video. So you can go check out that catalog. There's stamp sets, there's designer series paper, and there's also some $120 options where if you spend $120 you can earn that, and that's a stamp set and designer series paper combined, or this gorgeous double stamp set. So lots and lots of rewards, and then you can still earn all of our regular Stampin' rewards for an order over 200, or get in on our amazing starter kit deal as well. Right now we have, let's see, where did my paper go? Oh, I don't see it right now. I've just reorganized my office, so I'm going to have to figure out where everything is. But basically right now with our starter kit, you can get your regular starter kit deal as well as 5 packs of designer series paper, of paper that's exclusive. Like you can't even buy it right now. It's coming out of our new June catalog. So really amazing deals. Anyways, let's get over to my desktop and get crafting. So this is the Darling Donkeys stamp set that we're going to be using today. And then what I have here is one of the Love You Always treat boxes. So these actually come in a package of 10 boxes for $12.25 Canadian. And they're no adhesive boxes. So you've got this piece here. This is our base, and then this is going to be our wrapped outside. So this piece here actually has a bit of a gloss to it, and this is a food safe product actually. So when you fold it, you want to fold it so that the shiny side is actually inside, because that's what's going to make it food safe. And then our outside is a little bit more matte, and you can stamp on it and everything. So first thing you always do when you get any of these kinds of boxes and stuff is you want to just fold all of the score lines. It's just going to make everything so much easier when you actually go to put the box together, so you're not trying to fold as well as figure out how it goes together. All right, so first thing you want to do is to put together these shorter, like more narrow sides. So we're going to take those more narrow sides and these little tabs and pull them in. Here, actually, I'm going to fold that out so it stays out of our way so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to fold that in, fold this over, and then this tab at the bottom, you want it to actually stay in the box. You're not going to try to, so let me see if I can bring that up. So that tab in there, you actually want it to stay in the box so that it's flat along the bottom and kind of in the way. That's exactly what you want. And we're going to repeat the process on the other side so that, again, that tab is inside the box. All right. Then you've got a longer side and a shorter side. We're going to fold that shorter side in, and again, leave that other piece in so that that tab is kind of inside our box. And finally, this long piece, this is actually the side of the box. And then push that down, and there's a little tab that base is going to go into, and that base holds in all those little tabs, so they're all underneath this flat piece being held in place. So now we have our little box here, and we've used no adhesive to put this together. It does take 2 hands. It's a little bit tricky, but that's how we put that all together. And then our outside piece is really simple. You just kind of flatten it the other way so that it creates an open box, and we slide what we just created in. There we go. And that is our Love You Always treat box. And now the only thing left to do is to decorate this. And for this, the possibilities are endless. We could stamp right on here. We can glue designer series paper on. We can add ribbons, you name it. We can even decorate the inside of our box if we're not planning to use it for food and don't need it to be food safe. So that is our Love You Always treat box. Now, to decorate mine today, I'm actually going to be using some of our Snail Mail Designer Series paper. And so this is really fun Designer Series paper. I'll just move that box out of the way for a moment. So this comes with, like all of our Designer Series paper, 2 sides to every page. And so we've got kind of some fun, more generic patterns on one side, and then the ones that really coordinate with the snail mail stamp sets with little mushrooms and snails. And so for each one, we've got 2 sheets of every one. So we've got stripes and boxes and swirls, and then of course the fun snails and mushrooms and everything on the other side. I love this one in the Bermuda Bay. And then it's got the gorgeous snails on the other side that you can cut out. So you don't even really need the stamp set to get started with this series because you've got so many great images that you can cut out. But once you've played with all of those, you're definitely going to want the cute snail stamp. All right, so today I'm going to use a piece of this, the mushrooms with the hearts on the other side. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cut a strip right now at 4 inches wide by 9 inches long. So I'm just going to run this to my paper cutter. Okay, so with that piece cut at 4 by 9, I am going to flip it over to the mushroom side because that's the side I'm going to have on the inside. I want the hearts showing on my project. And I'm going to take a piece of tear-into tape and just tear that off so it's the right size to go all the way across one end. And while I'm here, I might as well do the other end as well. So both ends are going to get tear and tape put onto them. And remember, this is the side that I don't want to see. Good morning, Denise. Now I'm just going to take one end of the sticky tape off here. There we go, peel that off, and then I'm going to grab my box, and it doesn't really matter because if I do this upside down I can always flip it around, but the idea is this is my opening, so I'm going to flip my box over and line this up so it's nice and centered and straight. And I'm going to glue this onto the back of my box, just, maybe an inch away from the edge. And then I'm going to carefully rotate my box and fold those edges and come all the way back around so that I'm at the back of my box again, and I'm going to be able to glue this down. So I'm just going to come in here and give these a good little crease now that I've seen that I did line that up so it's all straight. I really want this to lay nice and flat. Now, if you really were worried about it laying flat, you could also put some more tear and tape on it to keep all of the sides secure. For me, I'm just going to do this belly band and wrap it around. I'm not too concerned about it being very, very tight on the other sides. Okay, and then glue that down. Now we have our cute little box here. So it opens up like that. We've got our cute little box with our heart wrap on it. So the next thing we're going to do is decorate the top of this box now. I could also add some stuff to the sides, but I'm not going to on this one. I'm going to keep it with the nice white accent. So I'm going to put that to the side, and I am going to use, oops, sliding away on me, my Stitched So Sweetly dies, and you can see actually I've got, it's the third smallest or fourth largest rectangle die cut is missing, and that's because it's actually already sitting over at my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so I'm going to just use some basic white paper and cut out one of those dies. All right, so with that done, pop that out, and so now I've got a scalloped stitched rectangle cut from my Stitch So Sweetly dies. Put that back on its case so I don't lose that. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to bring in one of our new blender brushes. So these actually come in a pack of 3. And I'm going to show you how easy these are to use, and a lot keeps our hands a lot cleaner than using the sponges. So I'm going to grab some Bermuda Bay. Now these brushes, I do have a few of them. I think I have 6 now, because I don't want to kind of mix color families on them. So like I wouldn't want to mix up my reds and my blues and stuff. So I've got, you know, one for my oranges and reds, one for my yellows, greens, and then one for my blues. I keep one separate just for white. And so, as you can see, there's a little bit of color coming off of this. I haven't cleaned this since the last time I used it. I did use it with Bermuda Bay, though. So you can clean this by just rubbing it on your chamois, or just really rubbing it on a piece of white paper until it comes completely clean. Okay, now I'm not worried because I'm using the same color as I was using before. So I'm just going to dip right here into my ink, and you can kind of just like brush across your ink. And then we just start, and a nice like swirling motion allows you to come on in here and really color your paper. Now you can see here there's a little spot that didn't get any color. I am going to guess that that's because I had something greasy on my hands when I was touching this. That seems to be the only time I've run into problems, is I've actually had whole fingerprints show up on pages. So you want to make sure that your hands are very clean when you're touching your paper before you use the blender brushes. But aside from that, they are just so easy. So I'm going to come in and do a really dark layer on one end and kind of fade down on the other side. So some colors are easier to get this fade than others. This Bermuda Bay tends to be quite a dark color, and I think my ink pad right now is very juicy as well. So it's not doing the fade quite as nicely. I did one earlier with Balmy Blue, and it fades out really, really nicely. It's a nice soft color. So your soft subtles are going to be easier than your darker colors. But I just love how smooth that look is. And then I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to be able to cover that up with some of the stamping that we're going to put on here. All right, so put away my Bermuda Bay, put away my blender brush, and now we're going to grab just a scrap piece of paper. So this is the paper I had been using to die cut my shapes out of. I'm going to grab that and some Memento ink. And I've got one of the little donkeys here. I'm going to come in and ink him up with Memento Black. And let's just put him right there. Stamp him right there. So now that we've got him stamped, I am going to use some blends, Stampin' blends, to color him. And so I have got here the bronze and ivory combo as well as my smoky slate combo. So I'm not actually going to use the bronze today. Sometimes I do when I'm coloring him in brown shades, but today I'm going to color him gray. But I do love to use the ivory here to do his mouth and his hooves. It's just kind of a nice neutral color. It's not really too brown or too gray or anything. All right, and then I'm going to start with my dark smoky slate. Come in here and do my tail, the little bits down where his hooves meet. I'm going to do a little layer along his belly where they've got the highlights, do his mane and his ear, and a little sprig of hair at the top, and his other ear, and then just a little bit on the bottom of his jaw and his eye. So those are all the bits that I've done in dark. Now I'm going to use my light smoky slate to blend all of that together. So you don't want to do too much blending because it will start to bleed. So you want to kind of stay away from your edges as much as possible. And so I tend to do like a quick pass by along my edges and then do more of the adding in layers in the center of my image. So quick pass by the outside and then come on into color. Okay. And then I can start to blend this, but I'm trying to stay away from my edges and move in as I do this. Okay. Then come down into his legs. All right, just a little bit more in his neck to blend those two together. All right, so there we have our little donkey all colored. Now I'm going to grab my snips and I am going to fussy cut this little guy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take him off of this larger piece. It's always easier to fussy cut when you've got a smaller piece to handle. So just put that to the side for scraps for later. And then when I fussy cut him, I'm actually not going to come in completely to the black line because I don't want to have to fussy cut in and around his tail there. So I am going to make sure I'm staying on the screen for you guys. I'm going to come in here and leave just a little white border around him. And the easiest way to do that when you're fussy cutting like this is to actually hold your scissors fairly steady and just turn the paper. I also saw a little trick that you can use and just do an outline in pencil before you do this kind of thing. That way you're going to keep your border consistent. For me, that's just an extra step that I don't have the patience for, although I'd probably get a much nicer result if I did it. Okay, and then I do just kind of cut off those excess pieces. I don't need to have all that extra paper around while I'm trying to fussy cut. And then I'll just clean up my desktop after. So I just kind of let them fall. There we go. So this weekend, I was so fortunate to be a part of a mini convention focusing on all product from our new January to June catalog. And so I have a ton of new ideas to share with you all. I learned a few things as well about some of our stamp sets. features that I didn't know, so I'm super excited to share those with you. And one of the things I learned was about this Love You Always box. I had no idea how to put it together, and so I was pretty happy that we received some of those in our convention kits, and I was able to show that to you because I actually hadn't ordered them. I thought they were a lot smaller than they actually were. I thought that they were like little matchbox sizes, and I mean, I should have read the fine print that gives the exact dimensions, and I would have known they weren't, but sometimes numbers just kind of get jumbled in the head and you can't really picture it. So it was really nice to actually have those boxes and be able to see how big they are. And like, I'll just give you guys an example here. I mean, you can see compared to my hands how big they are. But if I take a pack here of, this is a double pack of the snail mail twine, it actually pretty much fills up that space. You could pop that in and then throw in a couple candies, and voila, you've got, you know, your whole space filled. So, I mean, it's quite a significant size. All right, so now that we've got that done, we've got our blending brushes background, we've got our donkey fussy cut. Next step is to create a little banner of words here. So I have just a little half-inch scrap. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm trying to clean up my office and trying to use up all those little bits kind of lying around my room. And half-inch scraps certainly are everywhere. Yesterday's card that I posted used up some of them, so that was nice. So I'm going to stamp the hee-haw there as high as I can. If I actually had a strip slightly bigger than half an inch, I probably would, just because this is a little bit of a tight stamp otherwise. All right, and then I'm going to grab some Memento Black, and I've got the sentiment, you're the best. So hee-haw, you're the best. Always makes me think of It's a Wonderful Life, and I'm always saying hee-haw in there. I just love it. So might have to send this off to my mom because that's her favorite movie. So hee-haw, you're the best. And then it wouldn't be one of my cards if I didn't flag those ends using my tailored tag punch. Those and dimensionals. I don't know what I'd do without those two products. I would be lost in my stamp room without those. All right, so there we go. I flagged both ends. And we do have a banner punch, and I do use it. I must admit, though, I tend to use it more for this one that creates the arrows than the one that creates the actual banner flagging. Just because I used the tailored tag for so many years, it's kind of become habit for me. All right, so now before we put all of this together, I am going to grab some of that snail mail twine. So the twine I just put into our little package here. I actually keep mine in a jar with these fun lids that I got at PUM, or Planet Organic, whatever it's called now. I can never remember. I think it's PUM now. So I just grabbed these, and they're perfect for keeping twine in. So I keep my snail mail in these jars. So I'm just going to leave enough here to tie a bow. Hold that still, and then I'm going to wrap this around twice. Come back, and then snip that. My jar of twine can go away. I just like it because then my twine doesn't roll away. I'm the worst. If I have loose rolls of ribbon and stuff, they always get dropped and unraveled. So that just keeps my twine secure. So now I'm just going to tie a knot here. And once that knot is tied, now I can kind of take my time and do my bunny ears and make a nice little bow here. And when we're doing bows, sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, untying it and starting over again if you don't like how it's all laying, or just fiddling with it until you've forced it to lay the way you want it to. Sometimes I even resort to using mini glue dots to hold it down. All right, that is looking pretty good. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim up. Actually, I want those a little bit smaller. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim up the ends on these because I've got one little frayed end there. Okay. So with that done, we can now attach this to the top of our box. And for this one, I am going to use dimensionals. Let's see, I've got mini dimensionals. There's my full dimensionals. So it's a new pack. All right. And so I'm just going to pop these onto the back. Oops. There we go. Having a little bit of trouble today working with this Band-Aid on. My hands have gotten so dry they've started to crack. So yesterday at school I actually had to grab a Band-Aid that was bothering me so much. Okay, so we've got that layer attached. Now I'm going to take my little donkey and I'm going to cover up that little smudge that I got, so it's perfect. And I'm going to attach him just with some liquid glue. So I don't need too much because when you look at this, his legs are going to be there. Most of his head is off. So I'm just going to do kind of like his neck and his bum area with the liquid glue to attach him. And so just a tiny dot, and then we can spread that around and it stays super thin. And then because we're using this and we've got that thin applicator end, I can also come in and just do a little bit on his legs. There we go. Pop him down like that. Oh, I forgot to put some on his back legs. Darn it. Okay, that's where I'm just going to come in and use my other end and put the tiniest dot back here. There we go. So I know lots of you shy away from liquid glue because it can be very messy, but it also can be very precise when we use this kind of smaller tip and apply just really tiny amounts. All right. So we've got our donkey on there, and then I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals to put on our hee-haw onto the front. So I've got 2 of those on there. And I'm going to pop this on here so that the banner just, actually maybe I'll put it over here. Yeah, I'm going to put it over here so that it's over top of my ribbon. All right, so hee-haw, you're the best. And that is our little box. Now, if we wanted to, we could also pull in, let's see, some resin hearts. So if you haven't seen these yet, these are amazing. They are on back order right now, but they should be in, oh, I made a note of this. The resin hearts are back in stock on February 1st, and they have a ton of them ordered. So you're still going to be able to order these. They just won't ship right away if you place an order right now. But it's definitely worth grabbing them. They are the sweetest little things. And so I think for this, I'm going to stick to some white hearts. And I'm just going to pop one on there. And one like that. So there we go. We've got some resin hearts on there as an added little decoration. So these are really fun, easy to use, and just kind of make a project when we add those little finishing touches. And that is our completed project for today. So as I said before, this is the you're able to color the hearts. Yes, you are, Eileen. So these are just like our resin dots from Christmas time that came with the little yellow stars, I think it was, and then the red and white dots. You can grab your blender pens or blends, Stampin' blends, and color these. And so make some for some really beautiful projects. So yeah, that is our project. And then when you open up this lovely it is lovely you, right? Love you always treat boxes. You can put quite a bit in there, a good little stash of chocolate or some fun little crafting bits. So thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing something other than a card for once. I tend to stick to those cards. But I thought I would give this 3D project a go, since it is so easy with these no adhesive boxes. My kind of 3D project, and big enough to be useful. So that was really important to me as well. Let's see here. Actually, I'm just going to switch over screens. I always forget that I can do that, and now I have a nicer view of my office for you guys. I changed things up so I don't have the window glaring on my face anymore. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to try and get out there and enjoy the day before the rain starts. And I do have a ton of Darling Donkey projects posted, like scheduled posts already for you guys this week. So lots of really cool stuff coming up. There were so many great ideas at convention, and then some of them I actually changed them up so that they would work with the donkeys, so that I could highlight those for you. The donkeys are also on back order right now, but you, as far as I know, you are still able to order them as your celebration item. They'll just ship a little bit delayed, but they have a ton of them coming in. That was a nice thing about Celebration this year's. Everything's kind of from North America, so even if something gets back ordered, we aren't going to have tons of delays or things going unorderable during this celebration, since we've got it all kind of more local this year. So really happy about that. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, message me through here, email me, however you feel most comfortable contacting me, and I'll be happy to help you guys. All right, bye.